Welcome back to Deep Stoic Thought, the channel where we explore how ancient wisdom can help us navigate modern life. Today, we're tackling a topic that affects millions of people worldwide: stress. We all experience it, whether it's work pressure, personal challenges, or the constant demands of daily life. But what if I told you that an ancient philosophy has the tools to help you manage stress, regain control, and live a more peaceful life? That philosophy is Stoicism. Stoicism teaches us how to accept what we can't control, focus on what we can, and remain calm amidst chaos. In this video, we're going to explore Stoic practices for stress management, how you can apply them to your life, and how they can transform your relationship with stress. Before we begin, think about this. What causes you the most stress right now, and how do you typically react to it? Let's dive into how Stoic wisdom can help you answer that question and, more importantly, change your response. Understanding stress, the Stoic perspective. Before we dive into Stoic practices, let's first understand stress. Stress, as we know, arises when we perceive a situation to be beyond our ability to manage or control. This could be anything from a looming deadline, a personal conflict, or an unexpected life event. The body's natural response to stress is a flood of emotions, worry, and tension. But stress isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's a natural biological response that prepares us for action. The problem arises when this reaction becomes chronic or overwhelming. From a Stoic perspective, stress is often the result of focusing on things outside of our control. The Stoics believe that we suffer because we place too much importance on external events, other people's opinions, and future uncertainties. They taught that our emotional responses are triggered not by the event itself, but by our judgment and interpretation of that event. As Epictetus wisely put it, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This is the core of Stoic stress management, realizing that our perception of the world shapes our experience of it. And if we change that perception, we change how we feel. The dichotomy of control. One of the most powerful Stoic concepts when it comes to managing stress is the dichotomy of control. This principle is the foundation of all Stoic practice. The dichotomy of control teaches us that there are two types of things in life: things we can control and things we cannot. Let's break this down. What can we control? Our thoughts, our actions, our reactions, and our attitudes. What can't we control? The actions of others, the future, past events, and external circumstances. Stress usually arises when we spend too much time worrying about things we can't control. You might stress about a colleague's behavior, or worry about something that may or may not happen in the future. These are things beyond your control. Stoicism teaches us to focus our energy on what we can control. When we focus on our reactions and thoughts, we regain our power. For example, you can't control traffic, but you can control how you react to it. By embracing the dichotomy of control, we can step away from unnecessary stress and focus only on what truly matters. Reframing stressful situations. The Stoics also taught us the power of reframing. Reframing means looking at a stressful situation from a different perspective. Instead of seeing a challenge as something that will cause harm or frustration, we can choose to view it as an opportunity for growth. Take Marcus Aurelius, for example. The Roman emperor faced constant battles, political intrigue, and personal hardships. Yet, he wrote in his Meditations, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." He reframed challenges as opportunities to practice Stoic virtues like patience, courage, and wisdom. Let's apply this to your life. Suppose you're facing a stressful situation at work. Instead of focusing on the frustration of a deadline or difficult project, try to reframe it. This is an opportunity to improve my skills, to learn patience, and to act with wisdom. By reframing the situation, you change how you feel about it, which changes how you respond to it. Living in the present moment. One of the most common causes of stress is worrying about the future or dwelling on the past. The Stoics understood this well. Seneca said, We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Our minds tend to imagine worst-case scenarios, and we worry about things that may never happen. To combat this, Stoicism teaches us to live in the present moment. The past is gone, and the future is uncertain. The only thing we have control over is the here and now. Mindfulness is a technique that complements Stoic philosophy beautifully. It's about becoming fully aware of the present moment, your thoughts, feelings, and surroundings. When you feel stressed, practice mindfulness by focusing on your breath or what's around you. This practice grounds you in the present and eliminates unnecessary worry. By training yourself to be present, you detach from the anxiety caused by future uncertainties or past regrets. This is how you reclaim your inner peace. Negative visualization. One of the most unique Stoic exercises for managing stress is negative visualization. This technique might seem counterintuitive at first, but it's incredibly effective. Negative visualization involves imagining the worst-case scenario so that you can mentally prepare for it. For example, if you're anxious about an important meeting, visualize everything that could go wrong. Imagine you perform poorly, or the worst feedback possible. The goal isn't to dwell in negativity, but to prepare yourself emotionally for any outcome. When you visualize the worst, you realize it's not as catastrophic as your mind made it seem. The beauty of this technique is that it shifts your focus from fear of the unknown to acceptance. You're no longer afraid of the future because you've already mentally prepared for it. As Seneca said, it's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. By confronting the worst, we free ourselves from the paralyzing fear of uncertainty. Practical Stoic exercises for stress management. Let's take all the Stoic wisdom we've discussed and turn it into practical exercises that you can use to manage stress in your daily life. Here are a few exercises to help you deal with stress in a Stoic way. 1. Morning reflection. Start your day with a few minutes of reflection. Write down what is within your control and what is not. This will set the tone for the day and remind you where to focus your energy. 2. Evening journaling. Before bed, journal your thoughts. Reflect on the day's events and identify what caused you stress. Ask yourself, could I have reacted differently? Write down your thoughts and remind yourself that you can only control your actions, not external events. 3. Mindful breathing. When stress hits, practice deep breathing. Inhale deeply for a count of 4 per hold for 4 and exhale for 4. Focus on the rhythm of your breath and bring your attention back to the present moment. 4. Reframing. When you encounter a stressful situation, take a step back and reframe it. Ask yourself, how can this challenge help me grow? By reframing, you reduce the emotional weight of the situation and regain your clarity. Stoicism teaches us that while stress is inevitable, our response to it is within our control. By practicing the dichotomy of control, reframing challenges, living in the present, and using techniques like negative visualization, we can transform our relationship with stress. Stoicism empowers us to manage our emotions, stay grounded in the present moment, and approach life's challenges with resilience.